Hello everyone and welcome back to the MSSU Summer Show. I'm your host Scott Humphreys. Today with me I have Dr. Kohler, a professor for the Kinesiology Department, and Connor, a student. So thank you both for being here with me today. So I want to ask both of you, and we'll start with you. What got you interested in kinesiology and made you want to teach it?
Well, first of all, kinesiology is the study of movement. And so really our department we have three different majors, and physical education, exercise science, and sport and recreation management. And so I was really more interested in that kind of the exercise science side. I am a registered dietitian and my doctorate is in nutrition. And so I really like to think about how does nutrition help to fuel the body and help with optimal performance. So I had grown up in Joplin and I'd left to go to school, and when I saw a job come up in the kinesiology department here at Missouri Southern, I was excited to come back and kind of share my passion of healthy living, healthy eating, moving for health with students.
Perfect. So is that what, so yeah, you wanted to share that and teach, which is really interesting because it's the great thing that you get to do is do things you love. And so what got you interested in it?
What honestly got me interested in it was a bit of personal experience. I actually originally came to college as a nursing major, and over time I was working in a preschool, and while I was there we had a child with spina bifida, which is a spinal condition to where a pocket of fluid forms on the bottom and oftentimes leads to paralysis. And while I was working there, we were able to see him work on his condition and slowly go from having to be carried everywhere to going to a walker to now being fully mobile. And I had the thought that if I could do that for someone else's kid, then it sounds like a career that's worthwhile. Right.
So that's quite the career jump from nursing to kinesiology, but it's really is a cool story, and how you got, it's not a traditional way, a lot of people, at least for me, I'm computer science, and I got interested with computer science because my family just does it. So, very non-traditional story, which is great. So tell me, what are all the career paths you can do in kinesiology? I know there's physical therapy, but what other options do you have?
Well, with the physical education degree, that's going in to be a K through 12 physical education teacher. With our exercise science degree, students can go into careers like physical therapy, occupational therapy, athletic training, being wellness coordinators for a work site or a school district, going into working in a public health department, working in kind of disease prevention fields, being an exercise physiologist. So really, it runs the gamut. We also have certificates in nutrition and in coaching. And then we also have the new sport and recreation management degree. So students that are interested maybe in working for Parks and Rec, working for any type of baseball, soccer, football, either minor league, major league, any of those type of fields. So really anything that has to do with activity and movement, whether in the field of recreation or health or teaching, you can have a career path if you are in our department.
That's great. So you have a lot of options.
Yes.
It's not something that you're confined. So what is the most popular degree that students usually get? Well,
our sport and recreation management degree is new. This is the fall, will be the first semester. And so most of our students go into the exercise science. It had been called health promotion and wellness, but we've updated the degree name. And so that's really going into a field that's not teaching in the school, but teaching people outside of a school how to live healthier. So how to maybe exercise and be a personal trainer, how to rehabilitate from an injury. And so that exercise science major is our most popular currently.
Very nice. So could you walk us through that degree a little bit, from a lot of the classes you take to, do they do residencies and clinics? Or?
Right. So we start out with just some basic 100 level classes, really introducing students to the concept of of what kinesiology is, what assessing someone's physical status is in terms of their cardiovascular fitness, their stretching, their flexibility, their strength. So assessing them in that fitness status. We then have classes that help teach them how to develop strength and conditioning plans, how to teach or talk to them about group exercise or fitness classes. We then have classes that talk about movement, so biomechanics or motor learning. How does the body move? How does it learn to move in certain ways? We have classes about first aid, prevention and care of injuries, exercise physiology, nutrition. And so we kind of start out basic, and then we learn more about how to do prescriptions of exercise and assess exercise needs for individuals. And then the last part of the degree is a standalone internship. And so students will, whatever their interest is, so if they're interested in physical therapy, they may spend an internship with a physical therapist. If they're interested in worksite wellness, they maybe go out to Freeman and work with their worksite wellness coordinator. So depending upon what their interest is, they'll do an internship in that field.
Perfect. So I mean that's good that it sounds like a very broad range, and it's good that you say they have an internship. It's okay. So I think like medical field, I always think like residency is what I always think. So it's an internship at the end. Perfect.
Yes.
And how long did you say that lasts for? About a year? Or?
It's a semester, so
Okay,
it's
a
a
semester.
240-hour internship. And then a lot of the career paths like occupational therapy, physical therapy, athletic training, they then require students to go on and get a master's or a doctorate in that field in order to practice in the healthcare setting.
Perfect. What grade level are you? A junior or
I'm entering my senior year.
senior? All right. So you're almost done. You're all right. So you're in the home stretch. So out of all the classes you've taken, what has been one of the most fun classes, or do you have a couple that you really enjoyed?
I very much so enjoyed our biomechanics class. It gets more into the math and sort of the physics behind everything that goes on with movement. But the class I probably enjoyed the most would be our practicum class. Your practicum class mainly just goes out into the community, and it's showing all the ways that kinesiology is involved in various ways. There's various areas, rather you're just tabling or events that we ran. I believe we've ran quite a few different drives throughout the class, and it just kind of shows, especially for those in our degree who aren't necessarily going a direct therapy route and going more community health, some of the ways that they can apply themselves.
Right. So it sounds like a very active class. So are there any other, like, besides that, what's your second favorite? Well, that's that.
Other than biomechanics, I would probably have to say motor learning.
Oh, all right. Tell us about that one.
Motor learning goes more into the process behind how do you teach someone how to physically do something. So if you're trying to teach someone how to throw a football, you would mainly start off by getting in that class by showing some of the psychology behind it. How does learning progress? Does it stagnate? And how do you make it easier for people?
All right. So, I get really important classes. So, real quick, with kinesiology, are there any related clubs, organizations you guys have?
We do have the Kinesiology Club, which I'll let Connor talk more about, and it's a registered student organization. And then we also have kind of an ancillary unit. The Lion Co-op is under the Kinesiology department. And so the Lion Co-op is a food and personal hygiene pantry on campus, and we provide learning, we provide volunteer opportunities, internships, and a class through it. As well. And Connor actually volunteers for the Lion Co-op as well, but he's really involved in the Kinesiology Club, which is our departmental student organization.
Our 4K Club, our main goal is to try to get not only the kinesiology department involved, but to try to be able to do stuff in the community. So we've had various meetups of people in the department, because the one thing as the semester goes on, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle of everything, and it's nice to have people who are going for the same thing as you. So while we try to get a little bit of camaraderie, we've also been able to try to go out and try to help people organize. And as mentioned earlier with the Lion Co-op, trying to make sure that we get donations and everything prepared for it. Otherwise, K-Club is just trying to do the best that we can on campus and get involved with all the other clubs.
So so K-Club, is it just something that I assume it's only something that kinesiology people, or does it anything?
We welcome any and all majors. So a lot of the stuff we do, like we might go to one of the parks and play sand volleyball, or one year we went to their skating rink and went roller skating. And so really any student on campus that enjoys being active and doing fun things like playing games and doing fun activities are more than welcome to join the club, because that's a lot of what the club does is activities and events like that. And we do some of the campus events as well that may not be just activity specific, and we may have professional panels, but really anyone on campus is welcome to join.
Perfect. So seems very inclusive, get anyone involved. But well, I'd like to thank you both for being here with me today. If any of you at home have any further questions about the kinesiology department, please visit their department page. Stay with me though, because up next we go to the complete opposite side of the medical field and talk to Dr. Pyle about all things dental hygiene.
Missouri Southern State University Department of Communication, where information and experience opens doors you can never imagine. The mission of the department is to investigate, create, and spread information to a global public using a wide variety of communication and media channels. We prepare you for your future with hands-on opportunities using high-quality equipment and a fun learning environment. Allow us to be a part of your journey here at Missouri Southern State University, where connections will last you a lifetime.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the MSSU Summer Show. I'm your host, Scott Humphreys, and today I have with me Ms. Pyle, the department head of dental hygiene. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I'd like to start off with what got you interested in dental hygiene?
Well, that's a good question. I actually attended Missouri Southern and got my bachelor's degree in biology. That was back in, 1995. So I then decided I wanted to do something I thought in dentistry, but I went ahead and took a position as a dental assistant in an office, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with being able to help patients with not only their oral health, but just their overall health. And I just love being able to interact and help people. So
you said you majored originally in biology.
Yes, I did.
So that's quite the jump from biology to dental hygiene.
There's quite a few science courses that are needed for dental hygiene. I knew I wanted to do something in medicine or dental related, and so I just thought the best way to know is to experience firsthand and get a job in it and see. And I've been a hygienist ever since. I graduated from Missouri Southern Dental Hygiene Program back in 1999, and then in 2017, I started working at Missouri Southern as an adjunct professor in the clinical setting, and then I loved education. I wanted to further my education also in that, so I went to Missouri Southern and got my master's in education. And I just graduated with that and started as the director in May. So I'm new to this position. So.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on the
you.
position.
Thank you.
So walk us through the courses, anywhere from some of the major courses to how long students participate in clinics.
Yes. So at Missouri Southern, there are several classes that are prerequisites in order for a student to actually apply into our program. And so the science courses that they have to have prereqs are a chemistry, the first chemistry and lab. They have to have human anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. They have to have microbiology. And then they also have to have like oral communications, a math class, a language arts, psychology, and a sociology class. Now, once they have gotten those courses out of the way, then they can actually apply to the dental hygiene program. And then there's 93 hours of dental hygiene actual courses that they take over the next 2 years. So a lot of our students that are coming in from high school, a lot of them, have already gotten some of those core classes like communications, those classes, language arts out of the way. And so usually it takes a year to get those other science prereqs, like the AMP and the chemistry and the microbiology. So then once they have done that, then they can apply. And then the program itself is a 2-year program. That is a fall, spring, and then summer, and then another fall and spring. Now, the first year of those classes, they actually just learn and they work on each other. And then come the summer, then that's when they actually start seeing patients in our dental hygiene clinic and actually working on live patients other than just themselves or models. And then they do that in the fall and then the spring as well. And then they take their boards. They take a national written board and then they take a clinical board where they actually clean somebody's teeth for that. And there's a variety of classes that they have to have. I brought a cheat list just in case I couldn't remember them all, but they take a oral histology, embryology, morphology, a radiology where they learn to take x-rays, a medical emergencies, pain management where they actually learn how to give anesthesia to their patients, dental materials, a seminar, and they do a community health class, nutrition, pharmacology, oral path, perio, and then also just our clinical. They have a clinical one that they have their first year, and then the summer, and then they have one also in the fall and the spring. So,
okay. So you said that after they get all these almost like gen ed classes,
prereqs,
they have to apply.
Yes.
To the, so it's not something you major in, it's more of just like a program you apply to?
Well, they do get a degree, an Associates of Dental Hygiene degree, but they do have to apply and get accepted just as you would like med school or anything like that. I can tell you we take 2 cohorts, one a year. We take 30 students. For example, this year we had 70 students apply approximately, and we took 30. So it is a competitive program. The bottom of our GPAs was around a 3.4, 3.5. So it is a competitive program to get into. So you pretty much have to maintain, all A's with some B's. We very rarely have anybody that has C's in those prerequisites. And then if you go on our website, there is all the application information, and then you can also see the rubric of how we break it down. It's pretty black and white. It's, if you get this grade, you get this many points. And so it just goes by the number. We put it in a spreadsheet, and then we just print it off, and we accept the top 30. So now those students can reapply. And oftentimes, if I have a student question, why they didn't get in, we'll just look at their GPA, we'll look at their grades, kind of guide them on maybe they might need to retake a class or something to get in. So it's pretty competitive. We have to do that because it's pretty rigorous. The program is pretty demanding, and they have to be able to maintain that GPA. If you get below a C, then unfortunately, you can't go further in the program. So
you're pretty competitive, but it sounds like you guys are willing to work with anyone. And,
yes.
Try to help people, which is very good.
Yeah.
But the competitiveness is very good, just because, like you said, it's there's a lot going on, especially if they are taking other classes outside of that.
Exactly.
They have to do all the stuff involved with that and maintain.
Yes.
So
we actually, most of our students, if they're just getting the associate degree, that's why we prefer them to take all their prereqs first, because then once they're in the program, they're actually just taking the dental hygiene courses. So there's no other core required classes that they need. But there is another avenue that those students can take, and that is with getting a bachelor's in our health science degree. That is a great degree that it's only about an extra, I believe it's 20 hours on top of the dental hygiene. And so for those students that say they have that first year here where they're taking those prerequisite classes and they need 15 hours and they've gotten most of their gen eds in high school, those are extra classes that they can pick up in order to get that Bachelor's of Health Science. And that goes with all of our allied health programs, radiology, respiratory, all of those programs as well have that program with the Bachelor's of Health Science degree. So it's a great degree in order for them to get their bachelor's, and then it also gives them like healthcare management experience, or it could give them educational experience, because look at myself, you know, I'm a dental hygienist, but I love teaching. So it's a way to mix, you know, go into another profession possibly, or expand on your dental hygiene. Several of our faculty that we have now that are adjunct faculty got that Bachelor's of Health Science in order to teach at Missouri Southern. So
very, very cool. So real quick, can students come in and get their teeth cleaned?
Of course, we welcome and we want students to come, and it's actually free for students. So if you go onto our website, there's also information on the number to contact in order to get an appointment to do that. So,
I mean, that's especially for. I mean, I guess it benefits you guys a lot.
Cause they need to have those patients, but it also helps the students. You know, some are away from home. You know, a lot of students maybe not have dental insurance, and I don't know if you've been, but it's quite expensive. And so it's free, and they get a cleaning, x-rays, exam, fluoride, sealants. There's all sorts of things that they, you know, benefits that they can get. And then also faculty and staff here get a reduction for $20. And then just for anyone in the public, it's $30. So $30 for a cleaning is a huge reduction in the price of what it would be. With that being said, it is an educational, so meaning where you can go to an office and get your teeth cleaned in an hour, you have to be willing to come here and maybe set for a couple of different appointments in order to get your teeth cleaned. So it takes a little bit longer, but that's a good, you know, the price makes it worth it, I believe. And knowing that you're helping a student out.
Oh yeah. I mean, for me at least, it's not that big of a deal to sit for a couple more minutes just because, I mean, it is free. And as you mentioned, you know, people who can't get the insurance or like, if they are away from home, maybe their insurance doesn't cover anywhere near around you.
Right.
So I know there's a new dental school going into Joplin.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking to collaborate with them? Or?
Yes. So we have very, very, very exciting, you know, opportunity here to welcome KCU to our area. So we're actually working with them right now. So we have a supervising dentist at our dentist office. Her name is Dr. Latasha Vick, and she is over their community at KCU. And so KCU actually is not starting school until next year in the fall, but they're in the process of accepting applications for their dental school. Now, once they get started, you know, it'll take them a couple of years, probably a year, to where they're actually seeing and doing dental work on patients. But that doesn't mean they won't be doing community involvement where they go out into the community and apply sealants or fluoride. And Missouri Southern has a grant where we go into a public school and we actually do dental screenings and do place fluoride varnish and do, like I said, screenings to see if there's decay on those children. And they're working with us in doing that. And we're doing kind of a teledentistry type thing where we go to the school, we teledentistry back into Dr. Vick. She prescribes it, and then we're able to place the sealants there at the school. So we're working with them in community outreach, and it'll be awesome once their facility opens and they're actually doing dental care for patients, because they can come to Missouri Southern and get their cleaning and their x-rays and exam. And let's say we have a patient that just has bomb teeth and needs, you know, all sorts of work. They can go over to KCU and get that dental work done. So it's a total oral health care.
I mean, that's really nice because it's a very symbiotic relationship between you two. I mean, you both benefit from
Yes,
it.
exactly.
So I want to thank you again for being here today.
Thank you.
If anyone is very interested in anything other about dental hygiene or what they're doing more about here at MSSU, you can go to their department page. I would like to thank all of you for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time.